Simply put, Mark Rober has solved the YouTube algorithm. In the last 30 days, the channel has pulled in over 300 million views, 5.7 billion views in total, and recently he passed 50 million subscribers. And while most creators are still scrambling around trying to figure out the YouTube algorithm, Mark Rober has engineered it all down to a science. He went from making random videos in his lunch break to becoming a YouTube genius that averages 38 million views per video. And after studying Mark's videos for the past few days, I realised it's because he knows exactly how to please the three most important parts of the YouTube algorithm: clicks, watch time, retention. So in this video, we're going to dive deep into the strategies I believe Mark is using to maximize these fundamentals. And of course, we're going to help you apply them to your channel today. It doesn't matter if you're a gaming channel, a finance channel, a fitness channel, a cooking channel, a beauty channel, a tech channel. These strategies apply to you. But enough with the preamble, let's dive into formula numero uno. Now, the reason we're starting with increasing your clicks is because it's the thing that has the biggest impact on all of your YouTube metrics. You can have the best editing and an amazing storyline in your video, but if you can't get people to click, nothing else matters. So what makes Mark's thumbnails and titles so clickable? Well, there are obvious things like keeping his thumbnail and his title simple. He uses action shots to create motion from static images and convey emotion. And of course, there is a powerful use of bright contrasting colors. But you've heard these before if you watched our video about mic shape. So I decided to take a deeper look. And what I found are two very important techniques that I believe are at the core of what makes Mark's videos so clickable. For example, take a look at this video. If you're like me and the millions of other people that click this video, chances are, once you see a skinned watermelon, you're curious to know how on earth you do it. And incidentally, if you ever want to view a full screen version of a thumbnail or all of the thumbnail and title changes a creator has made on a video since it's gone public, the vidIQ browser extension tool will show you all of this for free. Anyway, this title and thumbnail immediately generate what I like to call the curiosity question. This is a riddle that sparks curiosity and has to be solved, and the only way to do that is to click on the video. Within 2 seconds, you've gone from thinking, that thumbnail stopped me scrolling, well, that's pretty cool, but how do you skin a watermelon? And another great example is this one. We've all been to the fair and watched people try and fail at these games, haven't we? And you were probably left wondering, is this a scam? Is it even possible to win? And so when you see this video, you immediately think to yourself, oh yeah, I know this game. I wonder if it is possible to win. That sparks the curiosity, and the promise of an answer drives you to click. And remember when I said we've all seen those fairground games? Well, that means that the video has an enormous total addressable market, because the topic has a very wide appeal. So let's break down how all of this works so you can apply it to your channel. The first step is to find a common question, problem, or challenge your audience is facing. For example, let's say you're running a gaming channel about Call of Duty Mobile. A common question could be, how can I reach legendary status as fast as possible? The next step is to craft a title around this question that teases the answer but leaves an information gap. One of the best ways to do this is to use phrases like how to, why, what happens when, or the secret to, because they spark curiosity. For example, a title for your gaming video could be How I Hit Legendary on COD Mobile in 7 days. It generates curiosity because it drives the question, how is that possible? Then the last step is to create a thumbnail that directly relates to the title. You want to use powerful visuals that further tease the solution. An example could be a transitional thumbnail, a before and after showing you reaching legendary status, with text overlaying it saying 100% success rate strategy. This will generate curiosity because it makes it sound easy, which is a powerful way to grab people's attention and make them click. Just remember though that you do need to deliver on those promises you make in the title and the thumbnail. But now you know how to generate curiosity questions, let's move on to the next part of Mark's click-worthy strategy. One of the big missed opportunities I see creators often make is that the titles and the thumbnails work independently of each other, rather than complementing each other. This often means that it takes the audience more time to decode what the packaging is. And the longer it takes, say beyond 2 seconds, the less likely somebody's going to click on the video. But Mark's titles and thumbnails are the embodiment of synergy. I know that sounds like a corporate word, but I love it. In essence, they work perfectly together to intensify curiosity. For example, this title and thumbnail combo is genius. In the title, Mark is teasing that the wheelchair in the video is going to do something thought to be impossible. And the thumbnail visualizes that claim, the wheelchair going downstairs, which is basically impossible for normal wheelchairs. What the thumbnail does here is intensify the main title and clearly communicate the core message. As for this next title and thumbnail, It's almost as if everybody has seen this on YouTube at some point. The title is brilliant. Even without the thumbnail, it creates a huge amount of curiosity. But with the thumbnail, he's able to use the image of a menacing shark lurking in the middle distance to really tap into our fears and emotions. You're at least asking the question, did Mark actually do this? And there is only really one way to find out. Mark understands the importance of this strategy because almost every single one of his titles and thumbnails perfectly synergize with each other. So let's talk about how you can recreate this on your own channel so that more people click. And luckily, it's fairly straightforward. The first step is to identify your video's core message that will generate curiosity. This could be a dramatic scenario, an impossible challenge, or an intriguing question. For example, in this video, Mark's core message is a ball that's impossible to hit. And it's fairly straightforward. It almost hits you in the face, right? And that's basically the second step. Craft a title that makes this core message crystal clear. It's sharp, it's clear, not only that, it teases the impossible challenge without actually giving away the outcome. The final step is to create a thumbnail that visually complements the title. It must tease the core message or challenge without giving away too much. Now Mark smashes this thumbnail out of the park. Did you see what I did there? The weird looking mechanical ball generates a ton of curiosity questions. I wonder what the mechanism is. Does it make the ball go faster or slower? And does it make it spin in new, unique ways? The questions are endless because it teases how it could possibly work without actually telling you how it works. That's the type of curiosity you want to be creating to induce that click. But all of this will only get viewers into the video. Now you've got to hook them. And that's where the editor is going to dangle 3 hooks from the top of the screen to visualize the next strategy. If you take a look at any of your audience retention graphs, you'll notice that the biggest drop-off happens within the first 30 seconds. And this is because viewers are quickly trying to assess if a video is worth their time, which is fair enough. They're looking for reasons to keep watching, and if they don't find any, quickly they'll click away. This is something that Mark is well aware of, which is where we arrive at this 3-step hook formula. It reduces retention drop-off and makes the YouTube algorithm happy. And the first step is to confirm the title within the first 3 seconds of a video.
This is me pitching a ball that's impossible to hit.
So Mark confirms the title by telling the audience he's pitching a ball that's impossible to hit. People's attention spans on YouTube are incredibly short because there's so much choice. So by reminding the viewer, hey, this video isn't clickbait and you've made the right choice, it prevents the viewer from clicking away. The next thing Mark does is set up the challenge of a video, therefore opening a loop. One of the many rare talents Mark has as a content creator is turning complex things into simple, digestible, easy to understand concepts. And he does that right after the first 3 seconds so that the audience doesn't get confused. But at the same time, he's doing something really interesting that's the key to this successful formula. The opening of a loop is a storytelling technique that creates curiosity, tension, stakes.
But how does that work? And how do baseballs, or really balls from any sport, actually curve through the air for that matter?
If those 2 questions combined with the visuals, the viewer is now saying to themselves, yeah, those are the questions I was asking too. And I feel that Mark is going to give me an answer here. But you see, Mark also knows the state the viewer is in. So what he's going to do is delay the payoff. In the first 30 seconds of a video, Mark is building up anticipation and excitement. Will he be able to beat professional wiffle ball players with his secret ball? But instead of jumping to the payoff, which he might do with a YouTube short, he goes all the way back to the beginning. And now the main story begins of each step of how to overcome this challenge.
The whole idea for this journey of discovery started with an impromptu visit to my childhood home in Brea, California.
And now I've spelled out the 3-hook strategy. Go watch any of Mark's other videos and you'll see him doing the same thing. And then, if you go off and watch some videos from more of your favorite creators, you'll see that they all have some variant of this 3-step formula. It's a repeatable structure that can be applied to almost any video in any niche. But at this point, we're only 30 seconds into the video. So what is Mark doing for the rest of the video to keep you hooked? Well, that's where another one of Mark's finely tuned creative gifts comes into play. Storytelling. At the end of the day, the algorithm cares about one thing, and YouTube have said this themselves: viewer satisfaction. And one of the big ways viewer satisfaction is measured is by how long videos are watched for. And after breaking down Mark's videos, I found 2 unique ways that he maximizes the audience watch time. The first one is called Jenga storytelling, and it works just like the game. You know how the game ends, but you play anyway because it's exciting to pull out each block until finally the tower falls over. And believe it or not, you can use the same principle in your storytelling to get people to watch for longer. For example, take a look at the first 5 seconds of this video.
This is the world's first ever actual pool of Jell-O.
So the big climax of this video is partly revealed in the intro. So why do you carry on watching? Well, it's because of tension. Just like in Jenga, the actual toppling of a tower isn't the most exciting bit, it's the removal of each and every block. And as you remove those blocks, the tension builds and the excitement rises. The same applies to Mark's videos. After he teases the climax, he slowly increases the tension of the video to make the climax even more exciting. For example, he's creating tension here by narrowing the amount of time he has to complete the experiment.
And so after looking at our data plus historical temperature plots, we knew we had about a 3-week sweet spot window towards the end of April to pull this off.
And Mark adds another layer of tension here by explaining how the weather could ruin the entire project.
As we put in the final batch Friday night, with ominous weather threatening to ruin the whole effort, at this point, we had done all we could.
When you finally reach the climax of the video, the pool is successfully filled with jello. You feel that rush of dopamine as the built-up tension is finally released. So now let's take these Jenga blocks and carefully stack them into your video. Tease a climax in the title, thumbnail and hook of a video without revealing everything. For example, let's say you're running a gaming channel and the video is how to beat Fortnite without moving, which sounds impossible, right? In the thumbnail and hook, you would show that you won, but without revealing how you did it. This is going to hook the viewer and build curiosity towards how you completed the challenge without moving. The next step is to continue to build tension through to the climax. You can do this by introducing new problems throughout the video. For example, stage 1 could be where you introduce limited time to complete the challenge. Stage 2 could be the realization that the challenge is almost impossible. And stage 3 could be that you are so close to winning but died. And the final step is to reveal that big climax. This is where you finally fulfill what was promised in the title and the thumbnail. You overcome all of the challenges and win Fortnite without moving. This releases all of the tension and gives your audience a big dopamine rush. But there is one more thing that Mark uses that makes this strategy even more effective, and that's the science of conflict. Mark understands that conflict is at the heart of increasing watch time and retention. This is because when we experience conflict, we naturally want to keep watching to see how it's resolved, just like in this video.
2, 1. This is me reclaiming my title for the world's largest and tallest elephant toothpaste experiment. And this is a totally different kind of reaction we discovered in all our experimentation called devil's toothpaste, which is insanely reactive and super dangerous.
In the first 20 seconds, Mark immediately introduces conflict by telling the audience how dangerous this experiment is. He also pairs it with visual images of explosions that make the conflict seem even more serious. All of this makes it impossible not to stick around to see what happens. And that is the genius of Mark Rober. But I appreciate what you might be saying to yourself right now. Mark Rober has 50 million subscribers, billions of views. This doesn't relate to me. Let me convince you otherwise, because in this video, we've got examples of small channels beating the YouTube algorithm using very similar strategies to Mark Rober. Check it out right now.